Howie's Distributing Incorporated Company Driver Training. Training elements: reduce your risk, road rage, defensive driver, night driving, inclement weather, hydroplaning, distractive driver, and three-point contact. Reduce your risks. If you are driving an unfamiliar vehicle, spend a few minutes to acquaint yourself with all the controls, adjust the seat and mirrors, preset the climate control, and entertainment options. Focus on driving and don't let passengers become a distraction. Eating and drinking while driving can be hazardous. Take a break. Secure loose items in your vehicle. Road rage. Characteristics: intent, displaced anger, use of a weapon. Reduce road rage exposure. Be patient. Manage your own anger and stress. Avoid making contact with aggressive drivers. Don't tailgate, cut off others, or drive slowly in the left lane. Defensive driver. Be a defensive driver. Protect yourself and others. Yield to drivers who are determined to get there first. Keep checking your rear view and side view mirrors for oncoming traffic. Remember, your mirrors have blind spots. Always turn your head and look for the other vehicles before changing lanes. Night driving. Use those headlights. At the very least, you should turn your headlamps on about an hour before dusk. This makes it easier for you to see as the sun sets, but also makes you more visible to other drivers. Of course, during times of bad weather, consider using your lights regardless of the time of day. Back off. Following too close can make the other driver nervous, which makes them more likely to react badly to something in the road and cause a wreck. Also, the closer your headlights are, the brighter they seem and more distracting they can be. Your visibility in front of the car lessens at night. Night driver. Headlights. Keep the headlights cleaned, aimed in the right direction, and lit is the key to safe night driving. Keep your eyes moving and be alert. At night it is harder to see animals, bicyclists, children still playing in the street, or debris that could already be present or become a problem. Inclement weather includes ice, snow, rain, fog, wind, and other natural hazard or factors. Inclement weather. Be aware of weather forecasts. Vehicle pre-inspection. Don't speed. You must always remain cautious when driving in bad weather to prevent a wreck. Slow down. Rainy roads mean slippery roads. Reducing your speed by 1/3 when roads get wet to avoid accidents is suggested. If weather is too harsh, don't drive. Whether it's because of a harsh blizzard, strong winds, or other inclement weather, try to find a safe place to park. If none are available or driving is unsafe, pull over on the side of the road and remain inside your vehicle. Watch for black ice. Some signs to look for are ice buildup on mirror arms, antennas, or top corners of your windshield. Inclement weather. Use extra care on inclines. Add extra space on the road. If you are driving in the middle of a storm, make sure there is enough room between you and other vehicles in case you have an emergency and need to pull over. Keep your lights clean. Ice and snow can cover your lights, ruining your visibility. Every time you stop, clear off your lights so you can see while driving. Turn your lights on. Many states require your lights to be on while it is raining, and for good reason. Illuminating your path with your lights helps maintain your visibility even in the rain. Heavy snow. Heavy snows and ice can bring down power lines, tree limbs, entire trees, and even buildings. Be aware of these obstacles, especially if you get off the main roads onto access drives and sidewalks. Vehicle inspection. Inspect your vehicle to make sure that it is fit for winter weather driving. Check the tire pressure and tread, fill the gas tank, check the windshield washer fluid. Windshield snow or ice. Ensure all snow and ice are removed from the windshield, windows, and side view mirrors before driving. Remove snow and ice from the head and taillights before driving. Accelerating. Accelerating on ice and snow can be difficult, especially if you are sitting on an incline. Accelerate slowly, giving the tires a chance to grab traction. Keep your wheels pointed forward until you start to move before attempting to turn. Turning your wheels before you are moving will cause your wheels to spin. Steep roads. Sometimes a certain road will take you straight up a steep hill, when a better option may be to take a longer way around using a less steep route. Avoid stopping on a hill in the snow or ice. If you see vehicles stopped ahead of you, slow down and give them time to clear before you get to an intersection. Intersections. Make sure other vehicles come to a complete stop before you enter the intersection, even if you have the right of way. Getting stuck. If you become stuck, make sure there are no vehicles coming before you try to exit your vehicle. Turn on your four-way flashers before you exit. If you are calling someone to come pull you out, stand clear of the vehicle and other traffic. Getting stuck continued. If you are going to dig yourself out, try to identify which tires do not have traction. Dig under and around the tire. Look up often to see if there are any vehicles coming. If you have any sand or salt, put it under the tire for traction. You may have to repeat this process several times to free yourself. Pedestrians in the street. Often excessive snows will force pedestrians to walk in the streets. Sidewalks can be covered with plowed snow. Fog. Dense fog can severely limit your ability to see when driving. Use your fog lights if your vehicle is equipped with them. Do not use your bright lights, as it will limit your visibility and the visibility of those driving towards you. High water. Do not attempt to cross running water that is more than a couple inches deep. Do not drive through water if you are unsure of the depth or cannot see the road. Do not cross bridges that have water flowing over them. Wind. High winds can turn over a vehicle or force you out of your lane. High winds affect vehicles such as box trucks, work vans, or other high-profile vehicles more than a normal car or pickup truck. Slow down when driving a high-profile vehicle. Hydroplaning. Hydroplaning happens when your tire encounters more water than they can scatter, so they lose contact with the road and skid along the water's surface. The water pressure in front of the tire forces a layer of water underneath the tire, reducing friction and causing the driver to lose control of the car. Although it can be a scary experience, the most important thing is to remember to stay calm. This video shows the hydroplaning, the rotation of the wheel here, water's edge, and then the hydroplaning surface beneath the tire. Again, more hydroplaning, moderate at low speeds, the less hydroplaning, moderate speeds, more, and then high speeds, and then it causes a spin out. Driving practices to avoid hydroplaning. Be careful during the first few minutes of rainfall. Those first 10 or so minutes after it starts to rain can be the most dangerous. This is because when the rain first begins to fall, it stirs up oil and other substances that have dried on the road. The mixture or oil and water forms a film on the road that makes it slippery. During those first few minutes, drive slower and be on high alert for other drivers skidding. Heavy downpour over an extended period will eventually wash the roads clean, so conditions might be less dangerous at that point. This is a diagram showing reducing speed. Driving practices to avoid hydroplaning. Slow down in wet conditions. The faster you're going, the harder it is for your car to maintain traction in wet conditions. If your tires connect with a puddle or standing water, instead of maintaining contact with the road, they'll be more likely to skid. Avoid driving through puddles and standing water. These are the spots where you'll be most likely to hydroplane since your tires will have difficulty maintaining traction. Turn off cruise control. If you're driving on the highway and using cruise control, turn it off when it starts to rain. You'll be more in tune with the conditions around you when it's off. You may need to reduce your speed quickly, and that's easier to do when your foot is already on the brake and you're paying attention to the road conditions and your speed. Drive slowly. Try to avoid skids and maintain a mild pressure on your brake and gas. Avoid sudden acceleration. Don't make sudden turns, as these could throw your car off course. Be extra cautious on curvy roads, taking care to steer smoothly and drive slowly. Regaining control when you hydroplane. Stay calm and wait for the skid to stop. When you first start to skid, it can be panic-inducing. Try not to panic or lose your concentration. You just wait for the skid to stop and stay alert so you can regain control of the car. Bear in mind that most hydroplane-related skids last for just a split second before your car regains traction. Waiting it out is the best way to handle the situation. Don't yank the steering wheel, since this action will cause you to further lose control of the vehicle. Ease your foot off the gas. Accelerating into a skid can cause you to lose control of the car and make matters worse. Don't try to accelerate out of the skid. Instead, slowly ease up and wait a moment or two until you regain control before you accelerate again. If you are braking when you enter a skid, ease up on the brakes until it's over. Regaining control when you hydroplane continued, steer in the direction you want the car to go. Maintain a firm grip and carefully point the car in the right direction. This technique is known as steering into the skid, and it's the best way to get your car back on track after skidding. You may need to correct the car's course a few times with light countersteering as you're regaining traction. Do not turn sharply or you'll overcorrect. Jerking the wheel back and forth could cause the car to spin out of control. Keep a steady hand on the wheel and steer with small movements to correct the course. Spinning out. When someone spins out, the rear comes around and can cause the vehicle to spin halfway around or in a complete circle under certain circumstances. Driving too fast or braking too hard on curves often causes someone to spin out. Fishtailing. Too much water to the rear wheel drive vehicle will lead to fishtailing on a wet, snow or ice covered road. Fishtailing occurs when the rear of the vehicle swings from side to side with little or no control. Overcorrecting by the driver leads to sometimes violent swinging from side to side. Fishtailing continued. If your vehicle starts to fishtail, let off on the gas and use small corrections to the wheel to get your vehicle pointed forward. Emergency kits. What you should have in your vehicle. Fully charged cell phone or radio, an extra set of dry clothes including gloves, socks, shoes or boots, water bottle, snacks, stores may be closed, shovel to dig yourself out. Distracted driving. Distracted driving definition. Distracted driving is an activity that could divert a person's attention away from the primary task of driving. All distractions endanger the driver, the passenger, and the bystander. Distraction. There are three main types of distractions: visual, taking your eyes off the road; manual, taking your hands off the wheel; and cognitive, taking your mind off driving. Distraction examples: texting, using a cell phone or smartphone; eating and driving; talking to passengers; grooming; reading including maps; using a navigation system; children; watching a video; adjusting a radio, CD player, or MP3 player. Texting, because text messaging requires visual, manual, and cognitive attention from the driver, it is by far the most alarming distraction. Distracted driver key facts. Drivers spend more than half of their time focused on other things than driving. Texting and phone calls aren't the only distractions. Passengers eating and in-car technologies can also cause distractions. Driving statistics. Someone is injured every 14 seconds. Over 2 million injuries annually. A person dies in a crash every 16 minutes. Motor vehicle accidents are the most common cause of work-related death. 1 in 4 fatal work injuries involve a vehicle accident. Driving statistics. 2,841 people died in distractive affected crashes in 2018. There were 401 fatal crashes in 2017 that were reported to have involved the use of cell phones as a distraction. The fatal crash rate for teens is 3 times greater than for those drivers age 20 and over. Driver distraction is responsible for more than 58% of teen crashes. More than 90% of car crashes involve human error. Distracted driving key facts. Engaging in visual manual subtasks such as reaching for a phone, dialing, or texting associated with the use of handheld phones and other portable devices increases the risk of getting into a crash by 3 times. 5 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting. When traveling at 55 miles, that's enough time to cover the length of a football field blindfolded. Distracted driving laws. Handheld cell phone use ban. 20 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands prohibit all drivers from using handheld cell phones while driving. All cell phone ban. No state bans all cell phone use for drivers, but 38 states and the District of Columbia ban all cell phone use by novice or teen drivers, and 21 states and the District of Columbia prohibit any cell phone use for school bus drivers. Distracted driving laws continued. Text messaging banned. 48 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands ban text messaging for all drivers. Montana, there's no ban, and Missouri, there's a ban for drivers 21 years or younger. What is the Michigan law? Using a level 1 or 2 graduated license, typically drivers under the age 17, talking on a cell phone while driving is prohibited except when using a voice-operated system that's integrated into the vehicle. Cell phone ban exceptions. Cell phone bans have a number of exceptions. These include using a device to report a traffic accident, medical emergency, or serious road hazard, a situation in which the person believes his or her safety is in jeopardy, or the perpetration or potential perpetration of a crime against a person. Michigan law, text messages. For all Michigan drivers, it's illegal to use a wireless communication device that's located in the driver's hand or lap to read, write, or send a text message. Exceptions. The texting while driving law contains exceptions for reporting a traffic accident, medical emergency, or serious road hazard, reporting a situation in which a person believes his or her safety is in jeopardy, reporting a perpetration or potential perpetration of a crime against a person, and using a GPS or navigation system that's affixed to the vehicle. Michigan law continued. Depending on the circumstances, a texting or cell phone violation could also lead to a reckless driving conviction. If one of those violations results in a death of another person, vehicular homicide charges are possible. Tips to avoid distractions. Fully focus on driving. Store loose gear, possessions, and other distractions that could roll around in the car. Make adjustments before you begin your trip to the GPS, seats, mirrors, climate controls, and radio. Finish dressing and personal grooming at home. Tips for avoiding distractions continued. Snack smart. If possible, eat meals or snacks before or after your trip, not while driving. On the road, avoid messy foods that can be difficult to manage. Put aside your electronic distractions. If you have a passenger, enlist their help so you can focus safely on driving. Tips to avoid distractions continued. If another activity demands your attention, instead of trying to attempt it while driving, pull off the road and stop your vehicle in a safe place. To avoid temptation, power down or stow devices before heading out. Apps that do not allow your phone to receive a call, text, or email while you're driving. Why make a second trip? Hungry Howie's distributing Inc. cell phone policy. Everyone should know this policy. 3-point contact. Using a 3-point contact rule will eliminate most injuries associated with mounting or dismounting. 3 points of contact means you are using 2 hands and 1 foot or 1 hand and 2 feet to support your body while mounting or dismounting a vehicle, stable platform, or ladder. 3-point contact continued. When handrails or grab rails are available, utilizing this simple 3-point contact rule will go a long way toward preventing accidents. When climbing onto or off of a vehicle, both hands should be free of material. Prior to mounting or dismounting, employees should check their shoes/boots for adequate traction. These diagrams here just show the 3-point contact rule here, climbing a ladder, here climbing a ladder, 2 hands a foot, 2 hands a foot, using a ladder here, and this diagram here can't be done. This ends the presentation portion of the training. There will be now a 16-question quiz. Question 1. Inclement weather includes A. Snow, B. Sun, C. Fog, or D. A and C. Question 2. Reducing your speed by 1/2 when roads get wet to avoid accidents is suggested. A. True, or B. False. Question 3. Inspect the following to make sure your vehicle is fit for winter weather driving. A. Check the tire pressure and tread. B. Fill the gas tank. C. Check the windshield washer fluid. Or D. All of the above. 4. Ensure all snow and ice are removed from the windshield, windows, and side view mirrors before driving. A. True. B. False. Question 5. What is the correct response when trying to accelerate on ice and snow if you are sitting on an incline? A. Travel in reverse. B. Accelerate slowly, giving the tires a chance to grab traction. C. Accelerate fast, giving the tires a chance to grab traction. D. Accelerate moderately, giving the tires a chance to grab traction. Question 6. When driving in fog, use your bright lights as it will limit your visibility and the visibility of those driving towards you. A, true. B, false. Question 7. Do not drive through water if you are unsure of the depth or cannot see the road. A, true. B, false. Question 8. Hydroplaning happens when your tires encounter less water than they can scatter, so they lose contact with the road and skid along the water's surface. B, your tires encounter no water. C, your tires encounter more water than they can scatter, so they lose contact with the road and skid along the water's surface. And D, your tires encounter a gravel road. Question 9. The first blank or so minutes after it starts to rain can be the most dangerous. A, 5, B, 8, C, 10, D, 12. Question 10. If your vehicle starts to fishtail, let off the gas and use small corrections to the wheel to get your vehicle pointed forward. A, true. B, false. Question 11. If you're driving an unfamiliar vehicle, spend a few minutes to acquaint yourself with all the controls, adjust the seat and mirrors, preset the climate controls, and entertainment options. A, true. B, false. 12. Characteristics of road rage include A, displaced anger, B, intent, C, use of a weapon, D, all of the above. Question 13. Defensive drivers do not yield to drivers who are determined to get there first. A, true. B, false. Question 14. The three main types of distractions are cognitive, visual, and material. B, manual, observation, and sound. C, visual, manual, and cognitive. And D, visual, observation, and automatic. Question 15. If another activity demands your attention, instead of trying to attempt it while driving, pull off the road and stop your vehicle in a safe place. A, true. B, false. Question 16. 3 points of contact means you are using blank hands and 1 foot, or 1 hand and 2 feet to support your body while mounting or dismounting a vehicle, stable platform, or ladder. A, 2, B, 1, C, 3, or D, 4. This ends the quiz portion of the training.